Morning, everyone. Secretary, please call the roll.
Trustee Kimbrough,
Present.
trustee O'Malley,
Here.
trustee Mailer,
Here.
trustee Rowe,
Here.
trustee Rainey.
Here.
We have a quorum and I call the meeting to order. The minutes for the June 6, 2025 Audit Committee meeting and Audit Committee executive session were circulated in advance. Are there any corrections or additions to the minutes? Hearing none, I move to approve the minutes as written.
Second.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Those opposed, please signify by saying nay.
Aye. Aye.
There is one action item today for the committee to consider. Item A is the fiscal year 2026 salaries and budget. Your meeting materials included the fiscal year 2026 salaries and budget. I recognize Mr. Blaine Clements, Chief Audit Officer, who will provide further information.
Morning. In accordance with the Audit Committee Charter, the Audit Committee is required to approve the salaries of the Internal Audit Office. To review them and approve them annually. Additionally, the global standards issued by the Institute of Internal Auditors, which is the standards of which I'm legally required to comply with, they require that the Audit Committee review and approve the resources of the office. For this reason, the budget is included in materials, and I'll be happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Do I hear a motion to approve the fiscal year 2026 salaries and budget?
Second.
Second. It is moved and seconded to approve the fiscal year 2026 audit salaries and budget. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, signify by saying nay. The motion carries. There are three information items for the committee to consider. Item A, internal audit reports released between May 9th, 2025 and August 14th, 2025, and a list of outstanding audit recommendations. Your meeting materials included a report regarding the internal audit reports released between May 9th, 2025 and August 14th, 2025, and a list of outstanding audit recommendations. I recognize Mr. Clements to provide further information.
Thank you. So we released three audits. I want to talk a little bit about each one. The first is a audit of the janitorial services contract, which was released June 30, 2025. The internal audit periodically reviews large service contracts we have on campus. A couple of years ago, we reviewed the dining services contract, and so this is just normal for us to look at the next big one, which is janitorial services. That is a significant contract because it costs over $2 million, and they keep 2.5 million square feet of our campus clean, presentable, and safe. So we wanted to look at that to make sure that both us and the contractor are complying with that policy. Since they have access to everything really on campus, we wanted to look at how we manage their access, and as the report says, there's improvements there. We can better manage their access, and we will do a follow-up on that to make sure that management is taking adequate corrective action. We don't do audit reports on follow-ups. They just simply come off the list when they take care of it. The second audit is the Little Gov's Child Learning Center, which was released July 30, 2025. Child Care Learning Center has almost 40 children over there, the university students, staff, and alumni. It's licensed by the Tennessee Department of Human Services and has a 3-star rating, their highest rating under the Star Quality Child Care Program. With every departmental audit we review to ensure corporate card purchases are reviewed timely. Corporate card abuse is our most common fraud allegation and takes the most time to investigate. Supervisory review, timely review of card-to-card transactions is critical to detecting misuse and minimizing potential losses. Audit revealed the department corporate card transactions were not being reviewed timely. Again, we'll perform a follow-up later this year to ensure adequate action has been taken. Then the third, capital planning, designing, and construction was released in August. That department oversees a wide variety of campus projects. The projects are highly regulated by state regulations. You might remember in 2020 and 2021, we looked how they select designers, and then we looked how they select contractors. That department is having some turnover in their leadership, and when that happens, we tend to jump in and do a departmental review for the incoming leader to give them a heads up on what's going on. No significant opportunities for improvement were noted. in that. And just for clarification, when we do an audit, we often have a list of things, the opportunities for improvement. We only put the more significant items in the report for you to see. I'm happy to answer any questions you have about those 3 reports.
Thank you, Mr. Clements. This is an information item and requires no action. Are there any questions for Mr. Clements? Yes, sir.
Maybe not for Blaine, but for maybe Dr. Licari, how do we evaluate the janitorial? Who makes an evaluation that they're doing the job right or whatever? How is that done?
Where's Shrews? The contract falls in his area. Probably best that he answer that question.
Yes, thank you. So we are currently under contract with JLL, who subs to CMTI. We do periodic campus surveys to see if people are happy with the services they're receiving to the level we expect to be being serviced on campus under the contract. And then also once a month, the CMTI representative, as well as our own physical plant, walks every building to see about how things are, the condition of things, and talk to the building coordinators that usually communicate about deficiencies or shortcomings for janitorial service.
So they're evaluating,
Yes.
continually evaluating, and then you make a decision at the year whether you want to continue that contract. Is it yearly?
It's a multi-year contract, but I believe it is up for expiration at the end of this fiscal year or the end of next fiscal year. I don't know off the top of my head. I think 27, Blaine? Yeah, so next June it would expire. But we also have a 90-day out. So if at any point in time, or I believe 90 to 180, one of those two, at any point in time, if we are not satisfied, we can exit the contract without penalty and find somebody else.
Any further discussion? Okay, we'll move on to the next agenda item. Item B, external reviews performed by the Tennessee Student Assistant Corporation and the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. I recognize Mr. Clements, who will provide information about the external reviews performed by the Tennessee Student Assistance Corporation and the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. Mr. Clements.
Yes. The audit committee required you guys to be informed of not just internal audits, but all audits, right? And so these are some of those. And so there's Tennessee Student Assistance Corporation. It's a nonprofit organization created by the legislature that facilitates 20 different student financial aid programs, including the Hope Scholarship. They were on campus a while back and had noted a few opportunities for improvement. Management responded with corrective action plans, and TSAC accepted that. The other one is about the National Crime Information Systems, which is a large database that our campus police use in their work. And the EBI came and did a review of that, access to that, to make sure that we had it what we needed and we weren't abusing it, and that came back clean. So I'll happily try to answer questions you might have about other people's audits.
Thank you, Mr. Clements. This is an information item and requires no action. Are there any questions for Mr. Clements or discussion about the external reviews? Hearing no further discussion, we will move on to the final information item. Item C, Office of Internal Audit Fiscal Year 2025 Year-End Report. I recognize Mr. Clements, who will provide information on the Office of Internal Audit Fiscal Year 2025 Year-End.
Yes, so like with the budgets and other things, the charter standards I have to comply with require you guys to review our internal audit work. And so in your packet is this brochure that explains everything. We do this every year. It is part of our fraud, waste, and abuse awareness program that we send this out to over 100 people, director levels and above, every year, so they're aware of what we're doing. And then there's some bit of information about fraud, waste, and abuse, so they can know who to call if they ever see something like that. But it is used to explain to the broader community how we serve the university. I do want to give a shout out. I just send a Word document with some narrative and numbers over to the print shop, and they turn it into this, which is great. It's really nice looking. But I'm happy to answer any questions you have about stuff that's in here.
Thank you, Mr. Clements. This is an information item and requires no action. Are there any questions for Mr. Clements or discussion about the year-end report? Hearing none, this concludes the agenda, and I move that the public portion of the audit committee meeting adjourn.
Second.
Is moved and seconded that the meeting adjourn. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, say nay. The ayes have it, and the meeting is adjourned at 10:00.